Good morning, friends. This is the last week, 12th week of our course. We have discussed so far about various soft skills and about negotiations. Today, I intend to start with another issue which is related to the marketing strategy. Now, here I'll be highlighting certain points. I'll just highlight certain rules which you should follow while marketing. And then in this week's discourse itself, I will try to give a brief idea about your time management, because time management is one of the very strong soft skills which is very pertinent whether for negotiation, for marketing. In fact, it is for entire life. Okay, so now we are going for marketing. First, we have to understand what is the market. What is a market? What we are envisaging as a market. The classical definition of a market is a place where exchanges take place. Somebody has one commodity and somebody has another commodity. They are being exchanged with equivalence of value. So it's a place where such exchanges are taking place. Classically, if you look at it, if it's a shop, it's a market. If it's a house where the salesperson has gone, the house is the market. So market has a very peculiar identity. So let's not try to find out where is it. Essentially, let's try to find out what is that. If you are on the seller side, then in such case, first you consider the market is a place where you can take your products to, and there will be customers or the buyers will come and ultimately buy your products. You exchange with what? You give away your products and you get some money, or you may be getting other products. Historically, if you know that before that money concept has come, which is transactable with one particular unit, like paper or coins or whatever, before that it was all a barter system. In the barter system, what used to happen is one person owning one commodity brings to the market, and another person owning another commodity brings to the market, and both of them exchange these two commodities, almost trying to find out the equivalence of the value of it. Okay? So one sack of rice may be traded with one sack of wheat. So the thing is, that was the barter system when the money concept was non-existent. But the thing is, once the money has come, then one third entity has come into the position in the market where one sack of wheat is equivalent to so much rupees or dollars. One sack of wheat is equivalent to so much rupees and dollars. Now, if the value of that rupees and dollars matches, then one sack is equivalent to one sack of wheat is equivalent to one sack of rice. Otherwise, it is a money value, one sack of rice equivalent to this much money, and with respect to that money, how much of that wheat is equivalent, that will be exchanged. That is how the whole thing was. So the market is a place where such exchanges will go on. Initially, the market was something like, where people used to go with all their products. Everybody from different parts of the settlement, they used to come with their products, and then all the buyers also used to come to the same place, and now they are buying and selling. Very interestingly, the whole market scenario has changed, the market concept has changed, and the location of the market got changed. So now at this point of time, market has no location, but market is still notionally a place where exchange will take place. So what is the domain of the market? This is a physical domain. The marketplace, we say, the shopping mall, the marketplace, the village markets, these are a physical domain. Then comes a virtual domain. That means now you have a product. You don't know that where is your buyer sitting. You have a product and you know that this product has to be sold to somebody. So virtually you're trying to find out that where is that particular market. So now you start configuring your markets, which is free of any physical location. You're trying to find out who is the end user, who is the end customer, and then you're trying to reach. In general, the market now in today's situation is mostly invisible. Why it is invisible? Because what you see physically is a very small domains. In one of the neighborhoods, suppose you have a small market, that does not mean that that is the only market for all the products that could be sold there. The users or settlers in that particular neighborhood, inhabitants of that particular neighborhood, may have demands for many other items. Now, those items which are being produced by different people, but that's not being sold in that particular market. So it is now very difficult to find out that where is that particular customer located. So the domain of the market is one of the very important thing which has to be understood. Most often we are very comfortable with the physical domain because we go there, we see different options, we see different alternatives, and then finally we make a choice and then we buy. Okay. Next point which comes into this is the operation. The marketing operation is like, as I said, that you have a product you sell and another person is a buyer who buys this particular product. This a total thing is a marketing operation. You don't consider that the marketing means simply the, see, there's a, something like we try to distinguish different term marketing and shopping. Somebody in most common terminology, somebody who is trying to sell his product is considered to be doing marketing, and somebody who is trying to buy the product is considered to be doing shopping. That means one person markets the product, another person shops the product, and at one point of time the things are exchanged and both then split. But the point is that particular domain is the market. Now the question is very important to be addressed is this: what to market? First thing, okay, even if you know that that's a market, what to market? That is the foremost thing. The next is whom to market. Okay, now let me go back to the what to market. You have a commodity, you have a product which you have produced, now you want to sell it off. Or you have certain products as your possession, you have surplus and you want to get rid of it. Or you have certain objects which has run out of its life with your utility, but it still holds the utility value, and now you want to share it with somebody else, not free of cost, so you want to give it to him. Somebody has to pay for it. The whole OLX and all these sites, they are basically depending on this particular kind of market, that where somebody has run off its product's utility but wants to now go for an upgradation of that, wants to get rid of this. Somebody who doesn't have this product at all wants to buy even a lower version of it, even if it's old, we call second hand sell. Now such things are again to be marketed. So what to market is the first and foremost thing to be understood. All my discussions, you will find that I am doing the discussion in favor of the salespersons, the marketing persons, not the customer. If you have noticed, my entire set of discussions are focused to that. So focusing towards the salesperson here, I consider, okay, marketing, what to market. The seller would find out what product to be marketed, number one. And then whom to market. One has to be very sure about whom to market it. No items can be really marketed or sold unless there is a buyer. You may just keep on manufacturing products, tons and tons of any commodity, but there is not a single purchase because there is no buyer for it. So you have a product, but you really don't have the market. Here we are considering the market is the buyer, set of buyers. That's your market. So physically, when you think about that, okay, it is the marketplace. But when we think virtually, market means end users. So whether it's in academics, if you're trying to formulate a course, a new course that we try to introduce, at that time, first thing what we try to see, does it have a market? What does it mean? The students, do we have students for that? Will they be looking for it? Then immediate question comes, okay, students will look for or say covet for this particular attending this course only if there's a market later. What is that market? Job market. That means the market gets different kind of identity. This has to be very clearly understood. And then why to market? Why to market? I gave you some idea that if you have produced it, you want to sell it off. Now all those manufacturers and producers, where are they doing it? They are doing it for earning money. They are manufacturing products to get extra money or their sustenance money. Otherwise, production wouldn't have been really required. Every commodities are being produced. One is for consumption, another is for getting benefit out of that particular product. So consumption means, suppose somebody is producing acres and acres of rice or some kind of crops, and they have a family to run, and the family will consume the entire output throughout the year. That means here in this case, it is basically the situation is that produced and consumed. But if suppose you produce and your consumption is only 10% of the production volume, then what happens to the 90%? That 90% you then go and sell in the market and get the return out of it. That return takes care of your additional expenses, because your food expenses with respect to that particular product has been taken care of in your 10% of the products that you produced. So remaining is the 90%. That 90% should give you the value, which is going to now give you additional benefits for your livelihoods and all of the expenditure. So in the whole marketing operation, first is you have to know what to market. So your product should be, then whole of your focus gets aligned. What to market? This product. Are you competent of making that product, or producing that product, or manufacturing this product, or procuring that product? Okay, what to market? That you see. Whom to market? Is there any buyer? And why to market? To get externally? That is the basic idea. This has to be understood. You must have seen there are several, there are something like wholesaler in the market, there is something called retailer in the market. Wholesaler who takes the products from manufacturers in gross quantity, in large quantity, then they give it to the local distributors, and now from wholesaler gone to the distributor. Distributor is now selling. Selling means what? They are not selling themselves, they are giving it to the other retailers. So distributor, wholesaler, retailer and the manufacturers, all of them are players in the market. The most important player in the market is the buyer, the customer, the user, the end user, the clients. If they don't exist, no point producing anything. So marketing operation is a very interesting game. Now here there are certain rules. I'll talk about certain rules when you're going to go for this kind of marketing operations. First is, the whole thing is not very easy. Everybody thinks that I can always sell. No, it is not. It is very, very difficult ball game. First rule that you follow is sell to people. If you are selling to people, means you are selling to the customers, and you have identified customers. Okay, to sell to the people, first you have to become an expert in people's skill. First, important. Here comes the real application of the soft skills that I've talked about. Every time you will have to see that, okay, if I have to follow rule 1, I have to sell to people, then I must be an expert of people. People's expert we call people expert. That means we know how to deal with people, we know how to talk to the people, we know how to attract the people, we know how to not to annoy the people, we know how to sell the product to the people. That means you have to be a people's expert. You have to understand the signals, you have to understand the body language, you have to understand or respond to the verbal communication when you are doing it. So all this becomes the game plan. Okay, so when you'll go through all those items of soft skills, if you really look into the items and go to the people skill, you'll find that this particular rule is very strongly applicable. To become a people's expert, the first thing is you have to like the people. You have to like the people. You are dealing with people, so you cannot be averse to the people. Some people are introvert, and quite often it is seen that the salesperson cannot afford to be introvert. He should have such skill that he can immediately penetrate through the mind of another person and then get friendly to the person and then talk about the products and then sell. Quite often it has happened that the person who is not interested to buy, neither he was thinking about buying. He meets a salesperson. Salesperson befriends him, and then what happens is in the whole conversation, salesperson sells the product to him, and ultimately the person who met the salesperson buys from him. That means the whole process goes on. It was absolutely unscheduled. It was unintentional, it was unplanned, it was just accidental, but it happens. It happens with rule 1 if the salesperson is selling to people. To like the people, then in that case you have to be interested in people. That means you have to know about the people as much as you can. There are certain things like say, if you have to be interested in the people, I don't mean that you have to be inquisitive or nosy. Don't poke your nose into the others' affairs to be interested in people. No, it's the people should feel so comfortable when somebody has met you and you are a salesperson. In such cases, you show your interest on the people. I'll come to this in detail further. That different kind of people have different kind of you have to show different kind of interests, and you cannot have just common terminologies used and all that. So be interested in people, and also must attract people to yourself. That means your personality should be such, your poise should be such, your dignity should be such that people should be attracted towards you. Let me give an example. You are sitting in an office and then there's a knock at the door. You say, please come in. A person comes in. You never had a look at him in the past. Neither you have an appointment, so you don't have any hint that he is there at your doorstep. Okay. The moment you look at him, you start judging him as the total personality. You don't even know by then that what is the purpose for this particular person to enter into your chamber or your office. You don't know. At this point of time, you will start all your judgmental things, and all the features or attributes of that particular person in terms of skills is now going to play in the mind of the viewer whom you are meeting. Now, in such cases, what happens is there could be a negative reaction, there could be a positive reaction. But what is important, you have entered his office unscheduled, just knocked at the door, he allowed you to enter. So your entire activity should be such altogether, that means the total poise, total dignified poise should be such that immediately he gets first attracted to you, so that he gives you at least 1 minute of time to listen to you. It cannot happen such that looking at you, he immediately gets disgusted and says, no, I don't have any time. Then your purpose is lost. Okay? So you have to have such kind of, entire body language, a smile, a look, a nod, a wishing good morning, or, courteously asking, may I come in? Anything that will start playing a role, plus your dresses. If you are looking very shabby in your dresses, in your attires, if you are looking very casual, if you are looking very unkept, in such cases, the first reaction of the person who you are meeting is, he will say, I don't have time now, can you come later? That means he deferred your purpose. Now, once he deferred your purpose, God only knows when the next appointment you are going to get. You don't know. So the thing is, you must attract people to yourself. Looking at you, one should think, I should at least spend few minutes with this gentleman since he has come here. That is the point you have to take care. Other ways are, look forward to meeting or hearing over phone. That means it is something like, your personality, your people's skill should be such that once you have met, then this person you have met, he probably would not mind meeting you once again. Or you may call and request for another appointment. Okay? That means he will be pleased to hear from you over phone. It should not be such that when you are leaving, you left with such a kind of reaction left in his mind that next time when you call and request for an appointment, either him or his secretary responds saying, no, time is not available. That means you are not you are not selling to the people. So what you do is, before your products come into play, before your prices are being discussed, before you go into negotiations, you sell to people. That's important. A very famous quotes of a very pioneering sales author, Tom Hopkins. He has written in one book that be a pulley person, not a pushy person. That means it should be your whole system should be such. Your entire appearance, your attire, your behaviors, your body languages, your verbal languages, and everything should be such that you get pulled. You don't push. That means one should invite you to come. You should not push to meet him. So be a pulley person. That means you should behave in such a manner that one should pull you. You don't have to push. Be very, very cautious about it. If you recall, this pushy is one of the don'ts I have said in my earlier discussions. Never push. Never. Always convert the push situation to a pull situation. That means he is inviting. See, what most of the sellers expect is a return call. What is a return call? You made one negotiation, you sold the product once, and your name has been listed in the customer's database, not your database. Now, customer, whenever he is looking for that particular object again or similar kind of objects which you are dealing with, then immediately he should feel that, okay, I should call him and ask him to meet me with that idea about that products or information about that products. This is very, very important. That means you expect a return call. And in case you are not getting a return call, then if you call saying that we have sold you this product earlier, do you have any further necessity? It's not a bad game, I would say. But the thing is, it is just, you are being slightly pushy. That means you have the product at your stock, you want to get rid of it, you want to sell it off. You have a target, by March you have to disburse these products or sell these products out, so you are now being pushy. But imagine the situation that you are sitting in your office at the almost year end, and at that point of time you get a call from the customer whom you have sold the product once, and then he calls you and says, do you have the same product or similar product or upgraded product of that same thing? Then it becomes the real situation which is most coveted. The rule 2, sell yourself. It is always said that don't sell the product, you sell yourself. That means the client starts liking you. That is very important. If the client starts liking you, then whatever product you are going to take it to them, they are likely to buy. Most often they are likely to buy. Of course, there has to be subjected to the need or want of that particular product for that in favor of the customer. So the first thing is in rule 2 is go out and sell yourself. You don't expect that the first time you have met a customer and you immediately sold the product. No, you don't expect it. What you do is you just go meet. Once you meet, you have a good interaction with the person and you leave. Not necessarily you are selling that particular product. You might get a chance to talk about the product, or you might not have a product ready for selling now, but you can still make a friend. You can meet. Once you do that, that means you have sold yourself, and the next time whenever this customer is thinking about a salesperson, should think about you, and he should think about you as a positive salesperson, not a negative salesperson. See, each one of us are remembered for two opposite reasons. Either it is for good reasons, that somebody likes you, they remember you, or somebody disliked you to such extent that remembers you, that nobody is expecting your call next time, or even if you come forward, he will simply say no. That means you are remembered on two opposite situations. What is the best way is to get attracted, when somebody knows that you are a very good person, and that's why the whole soft skill business is. Before going for the sales and other things, I would always suggest that you run through all my points of the soft skills and see where you lack. Where is the gap? At the end of this particular course, I will shoot one form to all of you that I promised in the beginning. That form which I'll give you, in which all the soft skills will be written, and there'll be some gradations, and I'll expect each one of you honestly filling up in the cells where you belong. You think that you belong to that particular cell. Once you see that form later, you will understand what I'm trying to say, but that is a self-assessment form in which, in terms of soft skill, you make your own judgment. Don't show it to anybody. Don't have to. Don't have to take anybody's opinion also. You don't have to tell somebody that, what is your idea about my people skill? Don't. You think, what is your own idea about your people skill? Okay? So then go out and sell yourself. The next point is be interested in other people. As I said that you be interested in other people earlier as well. You like other people, but be interested in other people. That means if you don't care for others, people will not care for you. That's a prime thing in a sales thing. If you have entered a customer whom you have sold a computer, and then just after 1 month you go and visit, you have no intention of selling any other computer because he has just now bought it. It will be at least, it will turn out to be obsolete only after 3 or 5 years. But you go to him and you find out, is there any problem? Is it working properly? Are you getting good business out of it? Has it helped you? Do you think that any other upgradation was better? That means basically you are interested in the person. You are showing interest in the person. But again, a note of cautioning, don't be inquisitive. don't be inquisitive. Okay? If you are inquisitive, then it brings out a negative reactions in the mind of the customer. Customer doesn't want to open his cards. The one thing, see, I'm discussing all these things in favor of salesperson. If I would have given lectures for customers, then I would have said a different set of rules, and by which customer could save themselves from the salesperson like you. That's also another thing. See, what happens is sometimes I do sell and sometimes I become a customer, and that's why I know that exactly where I should behave like a customer, and the salesperson should not really be influencing me. But sometimes when I'm a salesperson, I always try my influencing game so that the customer gets influenced by me. So at one point of time I am on these shoes, another time I am on these shoes. This is very, very important because it's a game. Okay? So don't be inquisitive. Explore association bond. This is one of the very common trick people do use. Something like, if you have any commonness in terms of college. Suppose you have gone to a customer and then you found that he is from your own college, he is your senior alumni. Okay? Then in such cases what happens is, it helps. Try to find out or explore association bond. It happens to me quite often. If I go to some other clients and then I learn, see, I'm from IIT. I'm a student alumnus of IIT. Moment I go to somebody and then I say that I'm from IIT, then the person also says I'm also from IIT. The next question then immediately I ask, which IIT? Whether the same IIT where I belong. It may be yes, it may be no, it may be some other IIT. The moment he says that he is from other IIT, then I embrace the whole IIT branch as a fraternity. But if suppose the person says from the same IIT where I have graduated from, then immediately what happens is, immediately we try to find out, oh, I see, which year? And then the next question is which hostel? So these are very, very strong association bonds, and you will find the whole of the atmosphere changes. Initially, the person who looked at you when you entered, suppose you are an IIT and you have entered as a salesperson, and then the moment you enter the client's room, the client will give a suspicious look at you. Who the hell are you type? I told you earlier. In the moment he will look at you, who the hell are you? And then you enter and then you say I'm so and so and etc. etc. Meanwhile, you just drop a word that you are from this institute. The moment you say that, and if the person is also from the IIT fraternity, immediately there will be a melting of ice. You remember I said something called ice breaking. Immediately, there's a fraternity thing comes. And, nobody is free from this. I'm talking about IIT, there could be other institutions. There could be many institutions, there could be many universities, and all are worthy. And this association bond plays a role when it becomes the similar, like say common college or sometime from the same city, common city. Even if you have not stayed there more than 1 year, but if you say that if suppose the customer, in course of discussion says, in fact, when I was in that city, I lived there, I studied there for so many years. If you were there for at least 1 year, you can always say, oh, you were there. In fact, I was also there. Immediate question will be how long and when. You may say 1 year, but the thing is, the moment the city has matched, then the details also come in. Like say, which part of the city? What kind of associations, starts playing. And I'll tell you, it's melting. The whole ice is melting now. Ice between the stern relationship or skepticism or suspicion between the seller and the customer now is melting. Okay, and if it's the same school or even common friends. So explore the association bond as much as you can. Apply the glue effect. The glue effect is basically sticking together. This glue effect is very interesting. It cannot be really said in a very crisp or discrete manner. It's like, an association, friendly association or earlier acquaintances. This glue effect works. So you are selling yourself in such a manner that, okay, you are getting that glue effect. You are exploiting or exploring the glue effect with a person. That means sticking to. Sometimes what happens is, some contacts or connection comes from other friends. We call referrals. Some contacts do come from the earlier company where you had been working. Some contacts do come from the family friends. Some contacts do come from the families. Some contacts do come from the in-laws' families. So the thing is, somehow there is some kind of commonness which are coming, and then if you are now a good person, if you are selling yourself better, then the glue effect comes. So whenever there is an opportunity, you will be at least intimated, or you will be informed, or you will be invited. It happens. But play this glue effect very sensitively. Quite often it might be wrongly played. So, never use the glue effect as push, never use the glue effect. Overall, be a pleasant person. If you are pleasant, I will tell you, it breaks the ice very fast. And the pleasant person means never show any kind of arrogance in your expression, because I will tell you, this part is very important. I talked about it earlier. The facial part is very important. If you are looking sternly, if you are looking obliquely, if you are looking suspiciously, if you are looking skeptically, I will tell you, you have just lost that client. Be a pleasant person. Even if you don't like, be pleasant in your face. Friends, you will try this, and if you have ever lost, always retrospect and try to analyze, have you lost because of your weakness of the product or because of yourself, your soft skills which were not up to the mark. Okay? Be a pleasant person. This point is important. Pay courtesy visit. See, every time I will suggest that if you are trying to meet a client, don't land up with your brochures and literatures and the product samples. Never. First, pay a courtesy visit. I have given a clue here. First time, don't use more than 2 minutes. First time, you went there, said hello to him, introduce yourself, share your visiting card. I will talk about the visiting card sharing in a different time, more in detail. But don't take more than 2 minutes, because you should pay respect to the time of the customer. You did not take any appointment, so you have no right to encroach into his time. This I will discuss when I will talk about the time management. So, first time when you meet is, if you are paying a courtesy visit, you simply say that I have come here as a courtesy visit. Just a courtesy visit. I have no business now, but I want to introduce myself to you. This is I am so and so, and belonging to this company, and we are producing this kind of products. In case you have any need, I would be happy to respond to your calls. So, share your card, 2 minutes, not more than that. Second time you meet again, but not immediately after, and don't even take the permission saying, that can I meet you, can I come here often, and whenever I come to this place, can I meet you again? I will tell you, this is a very dangerous thing you have said. Never do it, but do it. Never ask, but do it. Second time when you go, you take 4 minutes, because first time you have introduced, and when you are using that 4 minutes, not more than that, 4 to 5 minutes, at that time you try to, during your interaction, you don't repeat anything that you have discussed earlier. You immediately go into the discussion on the finding out needs, what he needs, what is he doing, does he require any kind of products that you are producing, will it be helpful, does he need your help, does he need any kind of service help on the product which he is using, not your own. So, 4 to 5 minutes, don't spend any more time beyond that. Okay, it's for courtesy. Third time, 5 to 30 minutes, and at that time you talk business. That 5 to 30 minutes is the scale according to the time available at the discretion of the customer. You plan for 5 minutes, and if the customer has the need and he is expressing his need, and then it is leading to business, it will take 30 minutes. And within the 30 minutes, you just talk business, and something like, client is asking that, do you have this product? I have this one product here which is not functioning properly. I need some help. Somebody has to come and repair this. You immediately say, I will do it for you. It's not a business, I'll tell you, it's a help. He will say, I'll do it for you. Don't worry, I'll take care of the servicing. Don't bother about it. Okay. Now, what is the problem that this particular machine is having? Then the client will keep on saying his own problem. Then immediately you say, why don't you replace it with some other better options? The client will be now curious to know what are the better products available in the market, and then at that time you push your own product. At that time you say, there are multiple such products and we are also producing. If you are interested, I can show you a sample of that, and then give me just 1 day time, and I'll just bring my technical expert as well with the product. If the product is of small scale, I'll just bring it here. I'll show you a demonstration of that, or else we'll bring the technical literatures, we'll discuss, and you just look into this. If you feel that this is going to solve your problem, which is persistently being created by this current product, then you simply can replace it. Then the next thing will come in the mind of the customer is, what to do with this item? How can I dispose it? the next action that you can say is that, okay, if suppose you want to throw away this particular product and take our product, we can have a buyback system, in which I'll give you a system, I'll just take this off from here with a little bit of deduction in the price, we'll make it. Okay, what you have done is the whole thing you have done is you have talked about the business. So pay courtesy visit, first time 2 minutes, next time 4 to 5 minutes, and next time you are talking business. In case you have sustained that pull factor between the customer and you, that second time when you went, you had a very warm welcome, then you can always be sure the third time also you will have warm welcome, unless you have spoiled your relationship in the second meeting. And the third time when you do, what you do is you talk business. So paying courtesy visit is very important. The idea is that you are not selling. You are paying courtesy visit to meet a person, and then you are almost making a good relationship with him, so that he becomes interested in you, because you are selling yourself. Okay, so this is about rule 2, sell yourself. So in my next lecture I'll discuss about other points like asking questions. That's how you should ask questions and on what issues you should ask questions. Okay, thank you.